All right. Internet decided to shit out on me for about 3 hours, so that was fun. Ooh. All right. Oh god, the internet's so fucking dumb. So stupid. Oh god. Okay. Wait, why isn't my chat working? What the fuck? Of course everything's going wrong. Refresh. Cache. Okay. There he goes. It's fine. So dumb. That's what I'm laughing at. The angels in church. And then you have the the biblically accurate angels, which are amazing. But it's all stupid SpongeBob bullshit. Oh god. I gotta be careful showing shit on here. I don't even know. A pair of titties will pop up every now and then, randomly. If you're on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's see. George Lucas is unfathomably based. Okay. Let's hear it.
George Lucas rejects critics who think his films are all white men or sexist.
What's this?
You know, they would say, well, it's all white men. Most of the people in there are aliens. And the idea is that you're supposed to accept people for what they are, even if they're big and furry, or whether they've got they're green and whatever. The idea
Got a green dick.
People are equal. As they said, there's no women in the movies. Who do you think the heroes are in those films? What do you think Princess Leia was? She is the head of the rebellion. She's the one that's taking this young kid that doesn't know anything and trying to save the rebellion. She's the hero of the movie. When I sold the company, I just sort of said, I had a baby girl, I got married, I had a different life, because I knew it would take me another 10 years to make those films. And I was 69, and I said, I'm not gonna be doing this when I'm 79. It's time to let go and let somebody else do it. Then they started other ones when I sold the company, and they, a lot of those ideas that were in there sort of got lost. But that's the way it is. If you give it up, you give it up.
So,
yep.
So if you look at the richest directors, yeah, so George Lucas, as you can see here, if you look at this number, this is $10 billion, and Steven Spielberg, $8 billion. That's a lot of money. It definitely is. But yeah, George Lucas, $10 billion. He's the guy, man.
Numbers don't lie. All right. What else do we got? Badlands chugs. Huge bottle of Capri Sun fruit juice. Oh. Dude, no. No, no, no. No. I'm not a big fruit punch guy. It's okay. I don't know. I don't know about that. God damn, John Oliver. Jesus fucking Christ. It's like blew his whole goddamn load. Was it, oh, this is all the season 2 shit. Sure, whatever. I like John Oliver, but okay. My CEO discovered AI. Let's hear it. I am going to react to the video, but not react to Asmongold's reaction. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Nobody gives a fuck because nobody's here, but just saying.
Hey guys, in this video
Okay.
I want to share how
Let's
I
hear it.
lost my job as a copywriter to AI. And I was one of the
Yep.
first people to actually, I feel like I was one of the first people to lose their jobs to AI. And it's so stupid because on one side I love AI so much, and on another
Yeah.
side it's completely destroyed my life and took everything from me. So there's that, I guess.
I have things
But
in
what
my
I wanna
life that
say
did
is
that.
like I was foreshadowing this for quite some time. Here's some context. So I was studying computer science in college, and I remember taking an AI class. And immediately after that class, I just
They
dropped
have.
out of college. So
Oh shit.
we took what AI is, what its potentials are, what it's being used for, and
Yep.
what it can do in the future. And I remember thinking, oh, you can teach a computer how to write code. Cool, but like, how am I gonna be useful as a coder if the computer can't write code by itself? And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know how long this will take to happen, maybe 5 or 10 or 20 years, but at some point I'm gonna be out of a job if I keep doing this.
Yep.
So I
And people go now and they will ask ChatGPT to write them Python syntax for doing something. And you can just copy it and go on.
quit. And before that, I was studying graphic design, and I quit that because I hated it. And I went into computer science thinking that's a bit more logical and stuff. But then I just dropped out of college. So, but you know what I thought? I thought, okay, maybe you can teach your computer how to write code, but you can never teach it how to be creative.
Oh.
Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Oh my God.
Yep.
So, whenever GPT-3 came out, I remember my boss or my CEO posting something on LinkedIn about how he prompted it to write something, and it wrote it, and it did a great job. And literally the next day, I stopped receiving tasks from this company, who for the past 2 years I'd been receiving an insane amount of tasks every day.
Yeah.
And I also happened to be the sole breadwinner for my family, so I had that to worry about, but I wasn't really worried because I was good at my job and I knew the company needed me. I was the only copywriter there. So it was kind of like
Doesn't matter.
a done deal. And then GPT-3 happened, and I remember seeing it and thinking, well, this is pretty good for what it is, but I'm not sure it can replace me yet, but I
Yet.
kind of thought it might.
Yet.
And then I just stopped receiving any tasks, and like a couple of weeks after that, they just let me go. They were like, oh, you're still here?
They do that. I think in Japan. And I know GameStop does that over here. 100% sure about that. What they'll do is they'll just keep people on and won't give them any hours. And then that's kind of like a soft firing, I think I've heard what it's called, where like you have to quit because if they fire you, you get unemployment. And if you quit, that doesn't happen.
So yeah, and I remember feeling like, okay, it's fine. It's not the end of the world, even though deep down I knew it was. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I'll just find another job. And I did find another job. And ChatGPT wasn't an issue. They hired me. But everything I'd write and send them, they would send to ChatGPT to comment on and then send it back to me. And at first I'd work on like the comments myself, but like next I started sending their comments from ChatGPT to my ChatGPT, and it would reply to those comments and send it back and forth. And eventually it just became
What?
ChatGPTs talking to each other. Like, I swear to God, it was like there's no people at that company.
Holy shit.
Point is, I ended up quitting that job because I just absolutely hated it. It was horrible.
I've seen several of these now. It's happening and it's happening fast. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen the next 10 years, but it's going to be wild.
And today, I actually regret leaving that job because it was my last job. And ever since then, I've been applying to hundreds, if not thousands of jobs and getting nothing.
Yep.
No freelance work, no full-time, part-time contract, nothing. Just,
Yep.
It's gone. Everyone I talk to is obsessed with automating everything, with getting rid of their marketing team and just having AIs do everything for them. So
Of course.
there it is. It happened. And since then, I've been doing nothing. I've just been gaming, and I'm trying to upskill and learn new stuff, so maybe I can be useful in different ways. I'm learning 3D modeling and Blender. I'm learning
Sure.
game design.
Game design ain't going to cut it unless he wants to do a game himself. Because I've been doing that too. Like learning game design and stuff, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
I don't know. I'm doing a bunch of stuff, but
Yeah.
none of them are making me any money, or neither do they have the potential of making me money because I'm not good yet. It's not like
Yep.
with writing where I've been doing it all my life and I could actually work in it and be productive and useful and make money and whatever. But this time it's different. It's awful, and I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it. I saw this guy. There's this video that went viral of a guy saying he lost his job, like now as a graphic designer. I'm thinking, it's been fucking a year or whatever, or 2 years since I lost my job as a copywriter. And now graphic designers and other sort of creatives, like in the workplace, are thinking that they're gonna lose their jobs.
They already are.
Copywriters were
100%.
the first to go. And every copywriter, not every, but like a lot of copywriters I've talked about just like kind of want to tell you that you're bad at your job, or like they want a virtue signal that they're better, or no, they can find clients because they're good, or I don't know what they're trying to do. Point is, that was GPT-3. I lost my job to GPT-3, not GPT 3.5 or 4 or 4 Turbo or O or any of that, right? That was just GPT-3.
Don't
That's
matter.
enough to replace me as a copywriter. And you might think I was bad, and I'll give you that. It's fine. But that's not really the
Right.
point. The point is, I can't find a job anymore. So I guess what I'm saying is subscribe, because this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. I know. Why the fuck do you think I've streamed 12, 15 hours today? And I stream every fucking day. Nobody comes in here. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure I'm not the best streamer. I know a lot of things and try and make connections. It's tough. It's tough. Everybody's doing it. This guy's doing it. 500 other 1,000 people are doing it.
I mean, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber.
Fair enough,
I never
yeah.
thought that this might be my only chance, because other than that, I think I'd have to open and run my own business or something like that. Because, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, copywriting is dead. I don't think you're... like, yeah, the high level, very high level copywriters, the very high level marketing writers are gonna keep their jobs. Not every writer is gonna lose their job, but a lot of them will. A lot of them, a lot more than I think anyone has an idea. Anyway, another point. So this was the whole video. I don't know what.
So what do you
now.
do?
I'm gonna keep trying to work on 3D modeling and my YouTube,
Yeah.
and see what I can do. But if you happen to be in the same position, let me know down in the comments. Tell me what you're doing about it, if it's happened to you, or if you think that it's my fault that I lost my job and not AI's fault. But seriously, I've been applying to thousands of jobs and just nothing. And
That is, yeah.
yeah, at
100%.
first I
100%.
I wanted to stay delusional and be like, okay, I'm still gonna find a job and all of that. But finding a job is not the point for me. Like, that's not. I can go find a job. It doesn't matter. I think if like 20 years from now to 30 years from now, what am I going to be doing? Am I still going to have this job? Am I still going to be
No.
useful in this capacity or whatever?
That doesn't happen anyway. Like for us, like our parents stay at the same job, but I don't think like anyone, like millennial and younger, have jobs like that. That doesn't. I haven't heard that. That doesn't happen to us.
And it doesn't feel like it. And I feel like even if I learn 3D modeling and any of that, at some point AI is just going to be good enough
Yeah.
to do it by itself. I mean,
And he's already behind. Like, how many 3D modeling jobs are there? Regardless, how many 3D modelers are there? I don't know. Like, I've done 3D modeling on like SketchUp and stuff like that, like CAD programs, but there's people way more qualified than I am.
you already have like the Google's new model and OpenAI's new model, and like
Yeah.
where you can just basically have the camera open all the time and GPT can just read your screen and all of that. And Microsoft announced like recall and stuff. So I don't know. I mean,
Sure, yeah.
who knows
You're
where
fucked.
this
We're fucked.
is gonna go. I'm sending this video out into the void that is the internet,
Hey,
and
Hey!
I'm not expecting anything really.
that's what I do every day when I stream.
And let it be.
Dude, I feel for this guy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I would ask you to like and subscribe, but I don't know why you do that. Honestly, this channel is garbage, but I want to keep working on it and keep uploading. And
You know what?
That's me.
He's at 254. I haven't even made it to 400 yet. And I've been doing this for 6 fucking years. Clearly, there's something wrong with me. But holy shit. Yeah. I lost this job as copywriter to AI. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a copywriter, but yeah. I get it.
So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching, and good luck.
Which jobs will survive AI?
In this video, we're not
Ooh.
going to beat around the bush. We're going to be
Okay.
taking this list of all jobs and systematically eliminating those that are predicted to not survive in the next 5 years. I've spent hours and hours
It's
reading
very loud.
tens, if
Sorry.
not hundreds, of research papers and articles and posts and tweets.
Let's see what she has to
Which
say.
ones are AI proof and which ones are not. There are also some people that genuinely believe that AI is not going to impact their careers and
They're delusional. They are fucking delusional. That's it.
not going to impact their life. So I'm going to just tear off that band-aid. This is called the ostrich effect, in which ostriches allegedly like to bury their heads in the sand to not face the danger and just hope that it passes. But I'm going to make you confront this and make you see the truth
Yep.
that many jobs will be impacted and some automation.
It's already been done, and it's so funny because like people, so like right when the industry, like industrial boom happened or whatever, like everyone got all these jobs to, like it was faster and more automated with people, but it wasn't like single craftsmen doing stuff, so they automated it. And then we start building like robots and things to make it easier, and you'd need, and that was like repetitive tasks, right? And then you could have like fire 10 people and get a robot for one. A robot, like a, very primitive one, but like one person could do the job of 10 with a robot that they know how to like fix and whatever. And when I say robot, I don't mean like a computer, but something that helps with automation. And then people are like, "Oh yeah, you're going to be out of a job." And then nobody cared because they're like, "Oh, artists won't be out of a job. We'll always have jobs." And well, look what's happening now. And I think it's pretty funny, like in a tragic comedy kind of way. But nobody is safe. they've made really good sounding music, and people are like, oh, well, I can tell it's AI. Yeah, but can you? It's starting to get really good. And this, again, is the worst that it's ever going to be. And holy shit, like, nobody's safe. The only people that are safe are like, well, South Park did it, right? Like handymen and stuff, like plumbers and electricians and shit like that. Because nobody knows how to do anything. That South Park did a special on that.
Made it and eliminated.
Yeah, I don't want to watch her thing. I wanted to watch this guy's stuff,
Lost my job to
but
AI is what's that?
yeah, yeah, that's not great. And Moist Critical is giving away money. I'm giving away my time, which I hear is more valuable than money. But probably not my time. But I'm here anyway. If you want to chat, if not, that's completely cool too. How Super Mario 64 was beaten without the A button. I know it was beaten with a half A button press, but I guess they beat it now without pressing the A button. That's I don't know. I don't know. Beating Super Mario 64 without the A button, without pressing the A button. What the fuck? I'll save it to watch later. Drama, chugging, fruit punch, which sounds fucking disgusting. Let's see. What else do we got? It's pretty good. Stranger Things. When is that final season coming out? Don't know. Worst flirting I've ever seen. Wait, how did he get my... Oh, no. None of this was, like, worthy today. Let's go with... Where's my watch later? I know I put some shit on there. The secret sad history of Halo's worst level. Let's see.
If you ask people
Oh, I need to get my
Halo 3 level, you get quite a few varying answers. Some people will
favorite Halo 3 level. See, you start off in the jungle, you go underground, then you get on the Ark. Well, you defend the Covenant invasion, then you get on the Ark. Yeah, this one's probably my favorite Halo 3 level. I'm trying to think if there's another one. No, that was Halo 4. You're defending in a jungle.
will say the Ark for its emphasis on
Yeah.
large-scale vehicle combat.
Yeah.
Some will say the Covenant for its dual
That-
Arab fight.
That's also really fun.
Incredibly iconic, memorable story moments.
Yep.
And some will say Halo for its unforgettable Warthog run. But I guarantee you right
That's
now that
good too.
even with a sample size of 7 billion people, nobody will ever say Cortana. Now, I'm a weirdo who doesn't outright hate Cortana, but
I don't hate it.
agreed upon as definitely Halo 3's worst level, and some might even say the worst level in the entire Halo trilogy. And you know what?
No.
Bungie agree with that sentiment.
Did they?
About the level,
I don't think
the
so.
person Who was Halo 3's lead mission designer?
No way.
Said, I don't think we did great there. It's a kind of half-baked mission that needed to be there for the story, so we sort of just threw it together. But
Sure.
I preferred not to do that. So to all you Cortana haters out there, this is your moment of vindication. But what if I told you that Cortana wasn't always a terrible level. In fact, what if I told you that Cortana was almost Halo 3's greatest level? Well, buckle up, Buttercup.
I'm sure.
We're diving into the secret and rather sad history of Halo's worst level. So, Halo 3's campaign started out a lot bigger than what we eventually got. This is, by the way, entirely normal in game dev. Even games that have the smoothest of development start out really big before being scaled back.
Yeah.
Halo 3
It's
quite
scope.
a lot of Halo
That's like trying to like make your first game. You're like, I want to do this and this and this, and the scope is just like ridiculous, and you got to scale that shit back. It happens like every time in every studio ever.
3's original
And
campaign
indie
sadly just never saw the light
devs.
of day. Like, for example, the infamous Guardian Forest and Forerunner City levels, which, by the way, if you want to see me
That
cover,
looks cool.
down below in the
That's
comments.
badass.
But even levels that did make it into the final game underwent drastic changes as well. A prime example being Floodgate. Don't worry, this is all.
I don't really like that level.
So, the Floodgate that we ended up getting in the
I mean,
final
it's
version of Halo 3
fine, I
was actually
guess.
an amalgamation of two separate cut flood levels, Flood Voy and Flood Ship. Flood Voy mostly took the place of the Floodgate that we ended up getting. The level opened with the Flood Ship crashing in Voy. A veil of dust and sand rolls across the city, plunging it into an artificial dusk, lit by a dim, blood-red sun. The humans become moving shadows within the war, and other shapes now move amongst them. That's taken from the first draft of Halo 3's script, by the way. And
It's
as
pretty
you can
good.
tell, the opening to the Flood's invasion of Voy was originally even more horror-focused. The level itself had some pretty big differences to the Floodgate that we know as well. Like, for example, you'd pass through a refinery, then through a refugee camp where you'd have to save some Marines from the outbreak. In fact, looking at this early blueprint of the level, it looks as though
That's-
evacuating survivors was actually going to be one of the main objectives, which makes sense given the context of the level. Instead, in the version that we ended up getting, all the Marines that you see fighting the Flood quickly get infected, besides
I like when you're like outside doing shit. Whenever you're going like through the like interior indoor stuff, and
the one
I don't
guy
know.
who wants to
It's not my favorite.
log out of Minecraft, shall we say. But where Flood Void really started to differ from Floodgate, however, was at the end. So, as we know, Floodgate ends with
Yeah.
you jumping into the infected ship, walking through like 3 creepy hallways, retrieving Cortana's message, and then that's it. But originally, reaching the entrance to the Flood ship was the end of the Flood Void level, and it would lead into the next level, Flood Ship, an entire level dedicated to exploring the infected cruiser. The objective of this mission was to infiltrate the ship.
It's a really good idea.
Tiny section at the end of Floodgate, but it went far, far beyond that. You also had to destroy the ship's reactors and blow it up. And you know what? Funnily enough, there are still references to this objective in the final release of Halo 3. Roll it,
Sure.
Miranda Keys.
The flood. It's spreading all over the city.
How do we contain it?
Find the crashed flood ship. Overload its engine core.
Hmm.
We either destroy this city or risk losing the entire planet.
Do it.
Chief, make your way to the crash site.
You know, until making this video, I'd never clocked the
So-
fact that Miranda tells you to do something that you never actually end up doing. I will never play Floodgate the same way ever again.
Is that still in like the actual game? Like it's not just a file that they forgot to take out?
Out of the Flood ship was significantly larger than it was in Floodgate, which, you know, is to be expected. It was basically
Pretty linear.
a long, winding path through the hive.
Yeah.
Broken messages from Cortana would hint at the Flood evolving before you'd come face to face with pure forms for the first time, making their introduction a little bit more themed and stylized than it ended up being. It's actually not very momentous at all in vanilla Halo 3. Once the ship's reactors were overloaded,
Sure.
the level would end with a frantic on-foot trench run that ended with Chief reaching
Why is my
the ship's hull, where he'd be picked up
480? Fuck that.
and also Johnson,
There.
who'd then take him to the Shadow of Intent for a very similar cutscene to the one that we end up getting, where the humans and elites convene, talk about Cortana, and then all tell you to subscribe to Hidden Xperia.
Yeah.
Now, as of the infamous Pimps at Sea Halo 3 alpha build that was made by Bungie in 2006, both of the
What?
levels, Flood Voy and Flood Ship, still existed separately. So we don't know
Pimps at
exactly
Sea.
when the decision was made to combine them, but it was likely sometime early in 2007. We also don't know why the two levels were combined either. All we know is that
Huh.
at some point, Floodboy and Floodship were combined together to create what I'm going to coin Mega Floodgate, which, again, was very, very different to the Floodgate that we ended up getting. As its name suggests, this new Mega Floodgate was huge. It was 2 entire levels stitched together back to back, and ultimately,
Why would they do that?
far
That's
too
weird.
long and far too poorly paced for Bungie standards, and so it was cut down by about 75%, which resulted in the Floodgate that we ended up getting. Keep all of that in mind for later on. Right, so meanwhile, on the other end of Halo
They're
3,
probably gonna.
the team at Bungie were working on a level called
I haven't.
High Charity.
I haven't seen this, but I'll take a guess and say that they cut out a lot of that shit, and then the shit that they cut out was bad, and they probably ran out of time to do the Cortana level, so they probably put all the bad shit that they cut out in that Cortana level. That's my prediction. Let's see.
Was set to be the game's penultimate level. As the name suggests, High Charity would feature our fateful return to the flood-infected Holy City to rescue Cortana. I promise you, this is not what you think it's going to be. High Charity was a part of Halo 3's campaign from the absolute get-go, from some of the earliest drafts, it seems.
Sure.
As such, the level underwent a ton of prototyping in a very early version of Halo 3's engine that was built for the original Xbox. Looking at these
Wow.
prototypes is honestly just surreal, and that puts it lightly. This is
For like the OG
running
Xbox?
on the same hardware as Halo 1. Fascinating.
That's really cool.
tangent aside, eventually, this build was moved over to the Xbox 360, where it still looked pretty similar, but with the major graphical improvements that you'd expect to see with the 360's hardware. Now, clearly, this is the level that
Yeah.
ultimately ended up becoming Cortana, but as I'm sure you're all aware, Cortana in Halo 3 doesn't really resemble High Charity at all. The only room that looks vaguely similar is the Sanctum, where you rescue Cortana, and even that isn't exactly the most similar to any of Halo 2's architecture for the city.
Sure.
The rest of it just kind of looks like any old Covenant construct, to be honest with you. The level High Charity, however, absolutely did resemble Halo 2's take on the Holy City. In fact, it literally
Yeah.
looks like a direct natural extension of its design in Halo 2. It's a
Which is really cool.
layout, and also its visual design just look exactly the same as it did in Gravebind, but more so High Charity in Halo 2, just this time with significantly more flood. But the level's layout took this a step further. High Charity went through a ton of revisions, but one of the earliest prototypes had the level beginning in a very similar area to Gravemind in Halo 2, except this time,
Yeah.
it's a little bit more floody. You'd make your way through this part of the tower, just like you did in Halo 2, until you made it once again to the Hanging Gardens, which, again, just like Halo 2, connected the two towers. You'd cross through the Hanging Gardens before making it to the Mausoleum of the Arbiter, which is where the...
So again, what they were saying is that it doesn't really look like that. It seems that they may have wanted to like copy and paste that layout and then floodify it, for lack of a better word. And yeah, I'm still holding on to my prediction.
First of the level's pseudo-boss encounters would begin, so prepare yourself for this one. Within the Mausoleum of the Arbiter would lurk an army of flood-infected Arbiters. All of the Arbiters who
That's
died
cool.
in the Covenant and were laid to rest in this room have now become undead and
That's
were thrown
badass.
into a boss-style encounter. Honestly, this would have been so
That's
sick.
fucking
Funny
badass.
enough, there's actually still a very light reference to the flood-infected Arbiters in the final release version of Halo 3. It's not much, there's just a tag in the game files that's called Flarbiters, which is obviously Arbiters. But
Flarbiter.
because Bungie cut them so early on in development, nobody can unfortunately get this tag to load anything. Anyways, after you've
Damn.
killed all the Flarbiters, you'd reach the Prophet's Inner Sanctum, which is where you'd rescue Cortana just like in the final version of the level, which, again, just like in Halo 2, would have been only a few doors away from the conduit that Chief used to board the key ship. I don't know if you were meant to use this conduit, but the fact that it's marked on the early layout for the map makes me think that you might have done something with it at least. With Cortana rescued, you begin your escape,
Which is really interesting, actually, because famously Halo 2 got cut short. Why they, left it on that cliffhanger that they did, which in hindsight was actually a pretty, like, I don't want to say good idea, but it worked out well for him for the hype for Halo 3. But I guess I can see why like that got cut short, and then it seems like that may have fucked this part up. So I don't know. That's interesting. I'd like to hear the full story about that.
Very differently. It was meant to end with a Scarab versus Gravemind boss fight. Yes, you heard me right. So, you'd fight back the way you came through hordes of flood until you reached the exterior of the Mausoleum of the Arbiter, where the Gravemind would suddenly appear. His putrid bulk spills from an opening below the mausoleum. His voice echoes throughout the cavernous space. Here, Cortana would spot a partially destroyed Scarab. You'd jump aboard and plug her into an access panel that was in the power core. Its rear legs and main cannon would be completely fried, but its fusion reactor would still be functional. So, Cortana
I want a flood-infected Scarab. I don't think we've ever seen one of those.
Destroyed, she'd begin piloting it, but only one leg at a time, and very, very slowly. Each leg movement would be like quite a monumental event that she telegraphs through dialogue, and her plan with it would be to get it as close to the Gravemind as possible. The Gravemind taunts and laughs, all the while lashing out with tentacles and his minions. Now, this section was
Seen hentai start like that.
Script as a massive objective encounter. You'd ride this completely broken Scarab, fighting off hordes and hordes of flood that try and overrun you while shooting off the Gravemind tentacles that attempt to latch onto it. Eventually, with the Scarab close
I played that boss fight in Final Fantasy XIV.
hit the core with all you've got, setting it on a detonation timer. And right as you escape, the Scarab would explode, which would pin down the Gravemind and then drop the full mass of the Mausoleum of the Arbiter on top of him. The Gravemind disappears in a
Holy shit.
Then Chief and Cortana would escape in a Pelican and fly to the Halo Ring. So, a boss battle against an entire army of flood-infected Arbiters, followed by another boss battle against the Gravemind where you ride a Cortana-piloted Scarab.
The thing about that is that Halo bosses are not good. Most of them. So I don't know. Like, it sounds amazing if they could pull it off, but I mean, let's be real. Halo has never pulled off boss fights particularly well.
That sounds like the coolest thing ever. What the hell happened to this version of Cortana? Well, unfortunately, this level, High Charity, was the victim of massive overambition and also a bunch of other events that, sadly, eventually led to its gutting. Halo 3's co-mission design lead left Bungie a few months before the end of development, leaving Paul Bertone to take the missions that he worked on that weren't finished and basically split them up between a couple other designers to complete, and Paul himself took the reins of High Charity. He said that the level was actually a lot cooler on paper than it was in practice, and that they just didn't have the resources to execute the original vision of it. And
that sucks.
He ended up completely gutting it and rebuilding it in about 3 weeks. Yep, you heard that right. The Cortana that we ended up getting was built in 3 weeks, very late in development. That might make a lot of sense to a lot of people. Paul went on to say, it's a kind of half-baked mission that needed to be there for the story, so we sort of just threw it together, but I would have preferred not to do that. Such a shame how that level ended up turning out. So, how did we end up getting the version of Cortana that we got? Well, you'd assume that it was just made from the cut remnants of High Charity, right?
That's what I said.
Wrong. Cortana was essentially the flood ship level that
this is what I said. Yeah.
Flood ship was another one of the levels that
So I was right.
had kind of worked on but hadn't finished, so when he left and Paul made all the cuts, he decided to just reuse a load of that level's geometry and rooms and encounters to make Cortana. I mean, hell, the frantic on-foot trench run that was described as the ending to Flood Ship is almost precisely how Cortana ends in the final version of the game. And there's even one room in Cortana that's literally the bridge of a ship, which obviously has no place on High Charity. This is also the reason why High Charity in Cortana in Halo 3 doesn't really resemble High Charity in Halo 2 at all. Originally, it was going to be so similar that it would have felt like you were retracing your steps from the previous game.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
Flood, which I absolutely love, but sadly, that never came to be. In fact, as far as I'm aware, the only remnant of Halo 3's High Charity level in the game is the newly modeled Mausoleum of the Arbiter that you can see off in the distance on the other
That's
side.
cool. I didn't know that.
That same Mausoleum of the Arbiter that would have fallen and crushed the Gravemind. It's quite cool looking at that now, knowing what it was originally intended to do.
Damn.
According to Bungie, as Cortana was being rebuilt in those 3 weeks, the level's length was also increased by 75% to better align with the narrative stakes in the story, which makes sense because despite being a mid-level, and I say that as somebody who loves Cortana, it's a very important level narratively.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, it is a crying shame that one of Halo 3's most ambitious and, I guess on paper, most incredible sounding levels just got reduced to one of the most disliked levels in the entire trilogy in the end. But unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You know, if by the grace of God, Halo 3 Anniversary ever happens in any of our lifetimes, I would absolutely
It won't.
love for whoever's making that
I almost don't want it to.
dip into the archives and recreate the original version of Cortana when it was High Charity. Do it really respectfully and very much in line with Bungie's original plans and execute that original vision that Paul didn't have the resources.
Like, you gotta think, especially, I haven't even really tried the Forge for Infinite, but from what I've seen and heard and everything, like, it's fucking amazing. It's almost just a game engine in and of itself. You'd think that people would pull a like a Black Mesa kind of thing and recreate all of this stuff, even if they don't, you know, have the like the layout and blueprints and stuff from it. They could just completely recreate these particular points in the game. That would be really, really cool. It's like in Black Mesa, they just redid the last like third of the game. Whenever you get into the other dimension, fuck, I forgot what it's called right now.
Your time to execute, because I guarantee if that was done faithfully, it would be incredible. I don't know a single person out there that would have an issue with whoever made this, again, hypothetical game, improving a level that 99% of people just don't enjoy and that sounded so much cooler in its earlier prototypes. You know, actually, on that topic, maybe at some point soon, I'll make a video about Halo 3 Anniversary and talk about, like, how I do it, the importance of such a project, etc., etc.
I really like his channel because I like the lore shit.
The depressing history of Halo's worst level. The level that was likely only a few weeks away from being one of Halo's most beloved and memorable levels of all time.
That sucks.
Ended up being reduced to one of its worst. Despite that rather solemn ending, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed and you
That was really cool. Yeah, definitely give him a follow. I mean, he's 601,000 subs. I love his stuff though. Like, I don't really follow Halo for the like mechanics or whatever. I just like the world quite a bit. So that's yeah, he has a really, really good channel with like the lore and everything. Let's see, what else did I save? And don't want to watch that. Planet of the Apes. Oh, 3 hour. I'll probably listen to that whenever I go to bed. Fallout Iceberg. Oh, I wanted to watch this Def Noodles thing. How Penguins, call him Charlie, destroyed YouTube's worst comedian. It's 20 minutes, but I remember when all this shit was going on, I had never heard of Def Noodles, and I haven't really heard of him since, but I know he's like an older dude that wants to be part of the young YouTube crowd, kind of, and it's like really fucking cringy. So I don't know. Oh yeah, and then we need to watch the second part of CoffeeZilla's rabbit shit, because that was pretty interesting too. Actually, let's watch this one first, and then we'll go to the Internet Archivist.
This tech company gaslit me so hard about their previous scam that
And we watched this the other day.
Project Rabbit, and what I found was shocking. For months, we've been promised that this orange box, the Rabbit R1, has an AI inside of it called Lamp that can organize your life, text your friends, restock your fridge. All you had to do was ask.
Start my morning routine. Order me an Uber and find me a good podcast to pass the time. Oh, and tell everybody that I might be late.
That was delicious. Check the fridge, and and order the ingredients to make that again tomorrow.
Yeah, it doesn't do that.
Marketing like this, they pre-sold over 20.
Like, so I have, I don't want to say the name, but Amazon's helper, and I use it all the time for this kind of shit. What was it supposed to be like a wireless carry it around wherever you go kind of thing? Like, I don't know the benefit of having this versus having like a Google Home or a, again, I don't want to say it because I'll activate it, her, whatever. Ooh, that's weird. I was actually going to call it her. Oh, that's weird. Anyway.
$20 million worth of these, and they raised another $30 million in venture capital, only to have MKBHD.
Yeah, it's all scam though.
The product's not that great. But I thought something to answer a different question. Not is it good or bad, but is the AI, the lamb, a scam? Well, we're going to find out. I wanted to start by just trying to recreate their ad with this thing. Start my morning routine.
To start your morning routine, you might consider tasks like waking up, freshening up, having breakfast, and planning your day. How can I assist you further with your morning routine?
Order me breakfast.
The DoorDash rabbit is under maintenance. Sorry for the inconvenience, and please come back later.
Tell everyone I'm going to be late.
I recommend informing the relevant parties directly about your delay.
Yeah, but no, you do it.
I'm unable to directly communicate with others on your behalf.
Why?
It's delicious. Check the fridge and order the ingredients so I can make it tomorrow.
The DoorDash rabbit is under maintenance.
There it is.
Yeah, it basically failed at everything. But remember, our question is not, is it good or bad? The question is, does the lamb, the AI, the large action model, does the secret sauce of this thing exist?
No.
Because the founder and CEO claims it's here on your device now. He claims LAM is a system that can infer and model human actions on computer applications, or as he puts it,
we use LAM to bring AI from words to action.
Right. This AI
No.
can do things on your behalf. And so when they'd show demos,
But we have that.
someone is planning a trip, it does look like the lamb is controlling the web page. You can see this AI clicking through Airbnb by itself, and it all kind of felt like the future. It's why people ordered $20 million worth of these little boxes. But a group investigation has revealed that Rabbit is not actually using a new foundational AI model at all. It's actually ChatGPT with some hard-coded scripts.
Of course it
Which
is.
funny because Jesse says Rabbit is faster than ChatGPT.
You will also know that the response speed is much faster than using some of the LLM assistant apps with web browsing, such as ChatGPT.
Now that's a very sneaky claim when
ChatGPT, like the new one's pretty fucking quick. It's almost like conversational speed. Probably is, depending on my conversations. But
most of your product is ChatGPT, so obviously not faster. But you wouldn't know that because part of Rabbit's prompt is, quote, I will never mention I am a large language model created by OpenAI. In fact, the part where they do use a different AI is really only search, which is why Jesse very carefully says Rabbit is faster than ChatGPT with web browsing. That's the only part of this device where they don't really use ChatGPT for it. But they don't use their AI model either. They use a different off-the-shelf AI called Perplexity. So it's extremely misleading to say Rabbit is faster than ChatGPT because
let me guess, they're gonna say like Rabbit is unique because of the way it combines these two different already out there AI. That's probably what it is.
ChatGPT, but it just can't tell you that because it's instructed not to. Now that we understand this, let's talk about the actual process of how Rabbit does more than search and is supposed to get things done for you. You might think it's a sophisticated AI, but actually what Rabbit does when you call an Uber or order DoorDash is it takes your question, puts it into ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo, and if it's something like play a song on Spotify, it will use hard-coded scripts to navigate websites like Spotify. And those scripts are not AI. This is super important. This is the part where they say, yeah, we've got this new foundational...
Also, like, if any company or website or whatever changes their layout in whatever way, shape, or form, then the scripts won't work, where an AI would, you would assume, figure it out. You'd have to go in and manually change those scripts each time the site is updated, or like, I guess when there's like a super major update, like instead of, let's say there was a search button, it was called the explore button, so you'd have to like rename those pointers and stuff. Yeah.
AI model thing that does the thing. No, the thing pressing the button is not intelligent. Rabbit is using a platform called Playwright, which is a web automation tool, the opposite of intelligent AI. And we know this because of several researchers who got access to part of Rabbit's code base. I worked with them, I'll link them below, and I spoke with one of them, Emily Shepard, to understand why this distinction, AI, not AI, matters.
This is quite a big deal because the way LAM has been observed to work doesn't match with what they've told us about how it works.
Of course not.
It's meant to be an AI live controlling a website and understanding that website. But what they have is just a bunch of static commands. You know, do this, do this, do this. And the problem with that is if a user interface changes...
Oh, look at that. I didn't watch this before either. Yeah, it's exactly what I said.
Can't cope with that.
Yeah.
So anytime Spotify redesigns their user interface, or anytime DoorDash redesigns something, or even if
called that shit
in a new location, or there's a captcha pops up, or something unexpected happens that isn't in that very rigid step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4,
you're fucked.
A flat, hard-coded Playwright script can't cope with that. And that is the opposite of some intelligent AI actually being able to understand the page, which is the claim that had been made.
The only way that like they could do that is if they like gave, well, I don't even know if you could do that. If they gave ChatGPT their script and they're like, asked ChatGPT to change their script to better match like the changes on a current website that just went live, and so just have ChatGPT do that. I don't know. I don't even know if it could do that. That's the only way I could see that working.
That's right. Obviously, there's a big difference between AI, not AI. Jesse himself knows the difference and made it clear.
Of course.
Wouldn't break like a hard-coded script would.
It doesn't really matter if a app completely revamps the UI.
Got it. So when Spotify redoes its app and it moves podcasts from tabs, and then it puts the tabs at the lower part or puts it in a hamburger drop down, it still knows.
Wait, what the fuck? Oh, the fucking. I fucking hate that terminology. I'm so sorry. I fucking hate it when people call that shit the hamburger. It's like up there, right? That playlist, or like the options. Like, I think Chrome. That's the hamburger. I hate that terminology. I don't like it.
Exactly, because the fundamental philosophy logic is that all these modern software are designed for human eyes to perceive information, and they have to have a setting somewhere.
Right, of course, if this were AI, it would adapt to the user interface changes, but it's not. Which is why when apps that Rabbit supports change, they stop working. As people noticed in videos
until you update them.
Even I noticed it while testing this device. DoorDash had stopped working, presumably because of another UI change.
The DoorDash Rabbit is under maintenance.
Now, today, Rabbit actually admits that they use Playwright,
but
they're not willing to admit that LAM, whatever it is not really doing a lot. Jesse responds, to say LAM is just Playwright is equal to say ChatGPT is just a chat. We use Playwright as part of a component to operate LAM. That doesn't mean the research and technology is fake. So what they're saying is LAM is not these hard-coded scripts, but kind of they also admit these scripts exist. Maybe Lamb interacts with the scripts, maybe they create them, but even if that's true, it's not what they promised. Either way, everything that matters on this device.
Yeah, those scripts shouldn't even be there. If the Lamb can figure it out for itself, why would you go to go through an extra step to write a script to do the thing that you wanted it to do when Lamb should be able to do that anyway? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Device is basically off-the-shelf software. The web actions are done by hard-coded scripts. Everything else is done by ChatGPT or Perplexity. So there's not much reason for the Lamb to do anything, whatever it actually does. And we're already so far from what Jesse originally promised, which I have to show you again. He kept saying was AI, not a script that would be doing all these actions for you.
We have a superhost computer that when Jason talks to his Rabbit R1 about ordering a hamburger from DoorDash,
Five Guys.
that we first see if Jason's logging with DoorDash or logging with Uber Eats, right? And we saw, okay, Jason chose DoorDash, and then on that superhost, a Lamb is interacting virtually with a DoorDash app or website, a interface. And you don't see all
But
of
it's
that,
not.
because all of a sudden this is done all at once because it's AI.
He couldn't be clearer. The Lamb is interacting because it's AI. This is a flat-out lie, at least currently, which he says the Lamb is here now. Now, I reached out over and over to the Rabbit team, pressing them again and again on this issue. What does the Lamb do? And they kept saying, oh, yeah, that's the thing, but it's just part of how the Lamb controls things.
They're like, I guess it's like, oh, they're using Lamb is using Playwright as a tool, I guess. Like a human would use a hammer instead of pounding a nail in itself. I guess that would be the defense. I don't know. Still, it doesn't make sense.
But I kept asking, what does that mean? How does this thing exactly work? If the scripts are doing the work, what does Lamb do? And eventually I got to the point where I just questioned, look, is this real? Do you have proof that this Lamb can do all these amazing things?
Yeah.
And I should have known I was going to get into trouble here because Jesse, the CEO, says, anyone challenging the Lamb legitimacy, I automatically become super defensive. And that was true. Here's part of the Rabbit team's response to me. To start off, I would love to know more about your background in tech, because if you are not specialized in AI and machine learning, any conclusion resulting from this conversation will have no real credibility or value.
That's a shitty response. That's like asking somebody that plays a guitar like what their guitar is when they're like, oh yeah, I have a real good expensive guitar, and then a person who doesn't play a guitar asks what that guitar is, and they're like, oh well, do you play guitar? How good are you at it? If you don't know, then I don't even need to tell you, because it's stupid, because you don't know anything about guitar. That's not a good response at all. Because if you're going to investigate something, your goal is to get like the information out of the thing that you're investigating, and then you can go and ask experts that, hey, what's going on? What time are you coming over tomorrow? Anyway, the point is, like, you shouldn't have to know something to get an answer, because your job is to gather the information, and then you can like get experts from the fields to tell you if that information's true. Those experts are probably not going to be experts in their field are probably not going to want to do the digging like CoffeeZilla does. It's like a collaborative effort, I guess, if you will. Not sure, man. Oh, okay.
From any audience, because this is a technical discussion in AI.
I thought you were streaming this weekend.
Welcome you to invite experts with valid certificates from the field to further look into this. Now look, I found this wild for a company that raised $30 million in venture, sold $20 million in product, to be feisty about questioning their product when it does not work as advertised, and we found out it's using hard
This
coded
week? Oh, okay.
instead of AI. How can they be surprised people are going to question what their thing actually does? But I also think it's funny they...
That's so stupid. Like, if somebody asks you, because I've had it happen to me a few times. Like, they'll be like, oh, you're not an exoplanet astronomer physicist, and then I'll fucking bust out my stuff and completely humiliate them. It's happened multiple times. And then they, they just, like, go away because they didn't expect that, because I look like a stoner. But, like, whenever you ask somebody and you, like, press somebody, those people are usually going to want to, like, fucking whip out their dick or whatever and just explain it. And they even want, normally people want to do that even more because it makes you feel superior to, like, throw out all this jargon that hopefully is real. But yeah, there's something fishy about that. Sorry.
Say that I should invite experts to look into this, because I'm not
Yeah,
nearly
that's-
the first person
yeah.
to point these problems out. Several people
That's what I just said.
I spoke with have had issues with this device. They have looked at the code base. They have also claimed they couldn't find the lamp. Others have jailbroken the R1, got into Rabbit's cloud to play Doom, and despite Rabbit saying they welcome,
What are you up to right now?
their reaction has been anything but welcoming. Emily, who we spoke to earlier, pointed out back in January that CAPTCHA would be a big concern for the lamp. And Jesse's response is, sorry, I work for my team. I don't work for you, so you need to check my calendar before you command me to answer anything now.
Dude, this guy, holy shit. Normally, okay, I read that as crocheting. Didn't know what that was. Glad it's crocheting. Anyway. Yeah, this guy, you can tell. Like when people know that you're about to like figure them out, figure out their con, they get really fucking defensive. It's just like a human nature kind of thing. And that's exactly what is happening here. And look, what the fuck? Here, Caladrius, god damn it. Holy shit. Here, right now. Sorry, I work for my team. I don't work for you. Why are people giving the skull here? This has nothing to do with dying. It's not even funny. Why is the skull used here? There are 4 skulls on this. What does it mean? God damn it. This shit is so annoying. Anyway.
Now, but fast forward to today, CAPTCHA is a huge problem. In fact, specifically with Uber, we had to answer 10 different CAPTCHAs, adding up a bunch
Fuck
of
CAPTCHA.
in order to get it working. It was a giant pain. It took us several tries.
I hate that shit.
I was actually part robot myself. The point is, getting convinced about the problem didn't take
It's like, if a robot can't do that shit, what makes you think that I can add up numbers? This is pretty good. It's like, am I a robot? Am I a shittily built robot? I guess we all are. Kind of.
the problem go away. And this is
That
why
one, I'm not sure.
getting defensive
Okay.
about the lamb, just because you tell people they
Right. Okay, to be clear, I have no problem when someone like posts a skull emoji talking like about death or something, or it's funny how this person died, something like that. The problem I have is just with random shit and people post that. That's my issue. Anyway.
have to be an expert to ask you questions.
I think so.
Questions are the
Pretty
problem.
sure.
But now I want to take a quick detour into the source code of the Rabbit itself, because I also have reviewed parts of the source code, and I have
Mama might have to go over there and get her or something. I don't know her car situation. I haven't talked to her in a few days. Sometimes, well, maybe like 2 days. I think she showed up the other night on my stream.
serious
I'm
data.
pretty sure she's coming though.
There are things in this code base, and I can't share it for reasons that will become obvious. There are
Porn?
things that
Is it
malicious
porn?
actors could use to get any access to the replies the R1 has ever given. Now, of course, Rabbit might say they've dedicated a huge picture of a lock on their webpage to privacy, so you might think they're serious about it. But this is the same company that, if you read the fine print, they're tracking your precise geographic location and collect that data. The only consolation prize is this thing is shockingly bad at tracking you, which I found out while looking for restaurants.
They put a tracker in there to track the hackers that are like trying to get their source code. But the thing is so shitty that it can't even track them. At least well enough, I guess.
Find me a restaurant near you.
Looking it up now.
I like the background.
Hot Plate, San Juan Restaurant, and Butter Churn are highly rated restaurants in Port Aransas. For a broad
I'm not in Port Aransas.
Why not? That seems like it's his problem.
Let me see what I can find. For restaurants near you in Austin, Texas, consider the following options.
I'm not in Austin!
An Italian restaurant in downtown.
Okay.
I'm not in Austin, Texas.
You should be.
I use the internet connection to know where the R1 device is roughly located in order to provide you with
You're off by a lot.
It's so bad. It's so awful.
Thank you for the clarification. Let me refine the search for restaurants in your approximate location.
I really like that green screen background. I'm a fan of that.
Is it gonna do it? Is it gonna do it? It just stopped. It just. Yeah.
It doesn't care.
Really bad. Nevertheless, I didn't want to take any chances for my next experiments. Which is why when I use this thing, I'm not in the $10 million studio at all. I'm in an $100 motel.
10 million. Oh.
That once you know the code base, you can make some surprising predictions about what this thing's going to do. For example, when I tell the rabbit to play anything, you might think that'd be random.
Music going now.
But it's not going to be. It's going to be the Beatles.
It's so bad.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
No.
Stop!
You don't stop Hey Jude.
Stop! 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 Stop. Thank you. The reason I know it's going to do that is because it's hard-coded to do so in their prompting. They say if a user is going to say play anything, they should play the Beatles. Even if you specify, when I say play anything, don't play the Beatles. Got it?
Understood.
Ooh, I want to try that. I want to try. Alexa, play anything on Spotify.
Anything by Adrian Lenker from Spotify.
Alexa, play anything on my liked list on Spotify.
Anything by Adrian Lenker from Spotify.
Alexa, play anything from my liked songs playlist.
Anything by Adrian Lenker from Spotify.
You're no good. Stop. Alexa, stop. Okay, she can't do it either.
Play anything. It's still.
Okay, starting the music player now.
Another Beatles song. I don't have the copyrights to that, so we'll stop it right there. All right, back now in the $10 million studio for real.
I don't either.
No green screen back here. Look, this product is obviously bad. By the way, it's off right now. But again, what really upsets me is not that it's bad. It's that the core selling point of this product is built on a lie. And that lie is the lamb. They said it was on your device now. It's a new foundational AI. And the reason this company had to sell you a $200 product was this AI was so powerful.
Large action models concept and test results are so powerful that we decided to make a one-of-a-kind mobile device.
I want this guy to demonstrate it from a random device that somebody else bought. I want them to go up and give it to him and say, do these tasks yourself on the Rabbit AI and see what happens.
Yeah, Lamb was
Bet he wouldn't do it.
justification for this hunk of plastic. But where is it? They say it's here now. He said it was going to be controlling your apps, but it's not. It's hard-coded, pre-written playwright scripts. And
Yeah.
look, the best Rabbit at this point can argue, and it's hard to falsify or verify, is that Lamb might be part of the process of creating those automation hard-coded scripts for Playwright. As in, like, no, it's not live controlling your web browser or their web browser, but it can create the code that does it. Maybe that's what they're going to argue. But guess what?
But it doesn't even do that.
Playwright already has a tool for this. It's called CodeGen, where it watches what you do and just automatically creates the automation code for you. No fancy AI required.
Cool.
So I think the best thing you could say at this point about Jesse and Rabbit is that they vastly overpromised and underdelivered.
Yep.
The worst you could say is this is consumer fraud. Because even considering the possibility, and it is one, that Lamb is a real research project that's not ready, why lie about it being here now? Why not come clean and admit?
Because they want to sell this shit. That's what Musk did in like 2017. He's like, oh yeah, our Teslas today have full automated driving. And 7-8 years later, they don't.
That whatever you're doing today is not what you originally advertised. This is not a new foundational AI controlling websites like a human. It's ChatGPT with an autoclicker. But there's one last thing I want to say. I was able to speak with an employee who worked for Rabbit. And the condition of anonymity, what they believe
whistleblower.
Lamb as advertised does not exist, and that Lamb was a, quote, marketing term. Now, given that this was a very serious accusation,
Yep.
I reached out one final time to the Rabbit team to hear their response.
All right. Below is a statement that can be attributed to Rabbit in response to your inquiries, given the approach and allegations in your first video and that your treatment of the previous responses we provided. It is clear that you are not interested in taking a balanced or objective approach or in a balanced or objective approach or in working with us in good faith. You can find the statement to your questions copied below. Beyond that, we won't have any further guidance for you. Okay. Rabbit stands behind its product, technology, and vision to build a personalized operating system that can understand users' intentions and intuitively help them get things done. Our technology approach can be seen in Rabbit's patent filings, which are public. Our focus is protecting our customers and our data. Because of this, engineers often only have access to parts of the system. This design of segregation allows us to focus on areas each team excels in while also protecting our most valuable intellectual property from authorized access or, in worst case, theft. Yeah, but no. It doesn't actually say where it is. It just is talking about their patents. Like, it doesn't actually say where that resides or how it works. Saying, oh yeah, we got patents. Some sketchy shit. Let's watch triple murder suspect versus New Mexico State Police. Maybe. Wait, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Greatest Tetris player of all time. That I actually want to watch that one too. Let's see. Let's see if police activity has anything going on. Two days ago, I think that 13-minute one would be the best. Holy shit, what? Yeah, let's watch this 13-minute one. Greensboro police officer shoot a man armed with a knife and a machete. I'll bite. Maybe. The hell? Okay. Contains graphic content. You're forewarned. There is no audio right now. At least I don't think there is. Oh, audio. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, I think this is just the dash cam. I don't know which one to look at. What the fuck? Tase him! Dude, did he just fucking shrug off a taser? I've seen it happen, but holy shit. Alright. Dude. What is happening? Oh shit, shit. Hold on. Oh, he's dual wielding. Okay, I thought it was like a knife and then he threw it away and then he had a machete. No, he fucking specced into dual wielding. For sure. Tase him! Oh shit. He does not give a fuck. Nah, dude. His his sprint refreshed. Dude, you know these police officers are like winded by now. 100%. What the hell? What is he doing turning around? Like he's like skipping backwards or something. This looks like a scene directly out of Grand Theft Auto. like directly captured. Oh, they got him. They got him. Oh, he got his machete back. What the fuck? What is this run?
Hey, we're on Creek Ridge approaching. Get off the radio! Senor! Creek Ridge approaching.
Senor.
If we see him, right here, come on, my people gotta do. Hey, I don't have no more.
They used up all their tasers. Man has some incredibly high electric immunity. Or resistance. The fuck? I bet if they say drop it to him one more time, he'll definitely do it. The run? Like, what the fuck? He runs like an NPC.
Drop the weapon. Drop it. Maru, where you at, man?
Dude, he's probably got... I think he's about to hit 3 stars. I'm pretty sure.
No more cartridges? No more cartridges.
They fucking dazed him and ran out of cartridges. You know those police have to be fucking annihilated running that far.
Brent, watch out for the pause line.
What the fuck?
Hey, Brent, see if you can take him real quick.
It doesn't work. Why are you trying to do it again? Oh shit, they got in front of him. Pincer attack. Oh, that didn't work. It doesn't work on him. Why do they keep doing it? Do they think it's some kind of like dot, like damage over time? The more you do it, the more he'll be susceptible? It's only midnight? Holy shit. Okay. Oh god. Yeah, shut the fuck up. That's what I'm saying. I bet if they yell stop one more time, he'll definitely do it.
up here, man. Dirty, come on, man. Roll in now a little bit.
Dude has some stamina. Man, he put a bunch of his skill points in stamina.
Hey, if you get to all those people, gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, I will put you down. I'm not gonna lie. I will put you down.
I bet he is.
Put you down. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, hurry.
You gonna put him down? Oh my god. Oh fuck, when the fuck did we switch over to 4? I completely missed that. 4 cameras.
Let's go. He can't go into the building. Hey, 205, tell me when.
Nah. Oh shit. Was that a shot? He's about to fuck around, or he's been fucking around. He's about to find out. Oh, the getting to the finding out part. Oh, nope. There it is. He found out. Dude, I think he's done. Is that girl saying drop it? Dude is like clearly fucking done. He's gonna have to respawn. Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna have to re-roll his character. Okay. So these are like the individual. Okay. Oh, lag spike.
Hey, drop the knife. I will shoot you.
Come on, internet. Don't bitch out on me. Again.
Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Hey. Shoot.
Yep. Oh, yep. There it is. Ooh, you can see it pretty clear. Look, frame by frame. Falls down. Right there. Right in the fucking center of his back. Dead centered. What the fuck, internet? Not downloading anything, am I? You go back. Is it buffering? Huh. Weird. Looks fine. Don't know why it's saying I have red. Anyway. Yeah, it's not gonna feel too good tomorrow. Nope. Why, God damn it. Why would you keep firing the gun when you see that he's down? And like clearly he's done.
Who's alive? Come on, let's go. I got you. I'm ready to race. I'm ready to race. I'm ready to race. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's probably not good. They are completely out of breath too. 100%. It's the same thing over and over. Oh wait, this one's actually a little bit longer. Okay. That is a lot of tomato juice.
Those is not working. Let's lock it up. Lock it up.
I have no idea what they're talking about. It's like people are randomly shouting different words. How the fuck are you gonna tourniquet a back wound? What the is that even a thing?
Hey, run to the BP column post right here.
Yeah, a tourniquet is a device that is used to apply pressure to a limb or extremity in order to create ischemia or stopping the flow of blood. A limb. Your fucking spinal cord is not a limb. What are they gonna do?
Right here to this post, right. Hey. Woo, woo. Hey, anybody else in game 23? Hey,
It's a lot of cops, too.
Go to the other side. Creek Bridge. Go to Creek Bridge and stand up on Creek Bridge. 4. Hey, hey. 5 GSW. 2, 3 in the torso. Shut up.
3 in the torso. It's done.
And where's Monroe? 2 in the arm. And 2 in the arm. Y'all put the tourniquet on him? I got 1 on him. The rest are...
What the fuck are they gonna do with a tourniquet? Like, why do they keep saying that? For the arm? Like, what the fuck is that gonna do? That makes no sense.
Chest and arms. I already got 1 tourniquet on. He's got about 2 in the chest.
Dude, he's done. Over. Game over. Game over. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. I gotta watch this. Gotta watch it.
The A-button challenge in Super Mario 64 consists of trying to complete the game without using the A button. For the uninitiated, that's the jump button, which is kind of a pillar of Mario games.
Yeah.
What began as a new fun way to play the game, the A-button challenge, or ABC for short, quickly turned into more of an infinitely intricate puzzle rather than a test of skill. Starting around 2007, it was almost exclusively played on emulator using save states to create tool-assisted speedruns or TASes, and found solutions that were technically possible within the bounds of the game but wouldn't be feasible in real time with a controller. Over the past 20 years, the game has been tirelessly refined and optimized this way, all the way down to 13 A-presses for all 120 stars.
Yeah.
For more information, check out this short summary video I made on the topic. But in the past few years, there's been a resurgence of playing the ABC in real time on
Yeah, and they've also done, I'm pretty sure I watched a video from him as well, where they did it with only a half of an A button press. which is like you press down but you don't release it, or you hold it and then you release it.
Console, and what the community accomplished in that time is nothing short of incredible. What just happened last week is the culmination of this amazing community effort. From May 17th to May 21st, 2024, Super Mario 64 was beaten in 0 presses of the A button by Marbler.
That's crazy.
Guys, it is done.
In real time, on a real console, with a real controller, in 86 hours. So how did
Damn,
he do
86 hours?
Before we go on, I want to talk to you about Control. When I wake up in the morning, I always want to start recording right away, and I can never take the time to make a healthy, balanced breakfast without losing.
Yeah, me too. I basically wake up, get like a nutty bar, and start streaming.
Losing that sweet
to nobody.
morning voice. If you're like me and you just want to get working or gaming in the morning, then Control is made for you. Control has meal replacement shakes that are low in sugar, high in fiber, and contain 23 grams of protein. They keep you full for at least 3 hours, so they can easily hold up until lunchtime, and you can make the full use of your morning. They
Are
come
those
in
like
many
any
flavors.
good?
My
I've
favorite
not-
is strawberry
well-
and cream. If you're instead looking for high protein snacks, their protein meal bars and protein cookies got you covered.
I've drank
Their
Ensure
Maple Cookie
before, and
flavors
that's
and
actually
House
not
chocolate
awful.
Partnered with Rainbow Six. If you go to drinkcontrol.com/bismuth and use the code bismuth, you'll get 10% off your first order. You can even use their bundle builder to try many different products and get a discount.
I love peanut
Thank you
butter
to Control
cookies.
for sponsoring this video. First of all, although the game can be beaten with fewer than the required 70 stars, doing so inevitably makes use of the A button, usually to do backwards long jumps, so that's off the table right away. This would have to be done by collecting 70 stars in no A presses and reaching Bowser in the sky
How?
without skipping any star doors.
I don't
So which 70
understand.
stars do you choose? As it turns out, even if you only pick the easiest, you quickly run into very slippery territory after just a couple dozen, let alone 70. The TAS ABC is infamous for displaying the most extreme strategies to save one A press, things
fuck?
that are so far removed from something remotely achievable by a human that I can't even begin to describe it. The task of taking dozens of these and turn them into something that could actually be performed was the first step of this process, and it took the community years to pull it off. Through the combined work of Marbler himself,
But-
Echoic 2012, Ivan 1.
To be fair, you still can punch with the B button. So that's how they get height
78,
from like
Billy
the kick.
Bar, Dabs, X320, Zion 134, Blobfish Time, Sapling the Tree, and DS273. Simpler methods were discovered, setups were invented, the limits of what's achievable were shattered, and it ever so slowly became less and less unthinkable. Marbler, one of
shit
the
is
most
wild.
influential figures of the TAS ABC of the past 5 years, set out to become a pioneer in the real-time ABC. He practiced relentlessly for months, came up with several strategies of his own, and set out to be the first person to complete Super Mario 64 in 0 A presses. These are the 70 stars
Like,
he chose to collect.
How
Now
like
those-
how do you come up with that? Like let's beat the Mario game without jumping? Like okay.
Using modern strategies, most of them
I mean,
are
it's impressive,
with
don't
enough
get me
practice.
wrong.
Let's go through the ones that aren't. 4 stars in, we have wall kicks won't work, so Marbler used hyperspeed twirling to reach the star. Quick heads up, the whole run features an ungodly amount of pause buffering to hit precise tricks, which results in mild flashing that can be uncomfortable to watch. So, to get hyperspeed, Marbler used frame walking, a trick where you alternate forwards and neutral in a control stick every couple
This
of
is
frames. to
definitely
focus
how
those
it was
slopes,
intended
so he
to
could
be
slide
played.
down onto the spin drift and hit it with nearly double the speed he otherwise could have. Next is Bowser in the Dark World with red coins, and already this is one of the hardest parts of the run. There are 5 main challenges to
At
overcome.
least it's early in the
First,
run.
Marbler uses an open corner in the wall hitboxes to set up vertical speed conservation, or VSC, and store the vertical speed of a dive recover, which he reactivates to grab this ledge. Then he lures a Goomba down to come back from the 6th red coin, and frame walks up the seesaw platform, then uses it to slide kick bounce across. He climbs this slope using slide grinding. The angle Mario is facing makes it so as soon as he's on the
What?
slope, he slides off and enters freefall without having any time to start turning, then immediately falls back on it because Marbler is holding up right. But because he's actually
That is,
holding
like,
ever
hurting
so
my
slightly more
eyes.
up than right, Mario ends up moving
I don't
sideways
like
up the
that.
slope by a tiny amount every time. Sideways movement while in the air is called straining. Finally, he dive recovers onto the pipe using a precise setup that makes him land on a 1x1 unit bit of floor that isn't covered by any wall hitbox. This quirk of
Imagine these people going and figuring this shit out. Imagine what they could do, like, if they were a doctor or like a cancer research person. It's wild.
Some platform corners is called a misalignment and is caused by the game rounding down Mario's position to an integer value for the purpose of floor detection but not wall detection. Bowser himself is trivial afterwards. Next up is Bob-omb Battlefield. 3 stars require going on the floating island. Shoot to the island in the sky, red coins, and 100 coins. This level makes extensive use of cloning and the Hope, the held object's last position. The Hope only gets updated when the game has to draw the object Mario is holding. With the glitch called Hat in Hand, Mario's hat can prevent an object Mario's holding from ever being drawn, meaning that the Hope becomes disjointed from the object being held, leading to glitches like remote release. Cloning is the bread and butter of the TAS ABC, but it's monstrously difficult to do in real time because it hinges on the exact way every object in the level is loaded and deloaded. Coming up with viable real-time strategies for cloning is nothing short of miraculous. The full ABC video has a complete breakdown of how the Hope and cloning work.
I watched that, and they're talking about, like, infinite multiverses and shit. Went way over my head. Way over my head. And I know a lot of fucking physics and quantum mechanics, but in the realm of Mario 64, that shit is fucking insane.
Marbler begins with red coins and 100 coins by sending a Hope just off this ledge and sending a Goomba clone to it using the Hat in Hand glitch. He uses that clone to set another Hope closer to the island, sends another Goomba clone to it, does a hands-free teleport with a Bob-omb to store it for Mario to retrieve later, and
Who
takes
the
a shell
fuck
all the way
figures
up the
this shit
mountain.
out?
Once up there, he does a slide kick off the shell to land on the second Goomba clone with a ton of speed and makes his way to the island. He re-grabs the Bob-omb, which was invisible in front of Mario this whole time, and that allows him to set the Hope near the star box for shoot to the
Ridiculous.
island in the sky. He
It's
finishes the
stupid.
red coins and 100 coins, then re-enters a level and sends a Goomba clone to the Hope before redoing a similar setup to reach the island. This time, he can use the Goomba clone to bounce to the star. Another star in Bob-omb Battlefield is particularly challenging, behind Shane Shom's gate. The star is
Yeah,
too
how are you
high
gonna
to
get up
recover
there?
to, and the gate can't be destroyed without ground-pounding this post 3 times, so he uses a cork box to clip inside the gate and set the
Sure.
Hope under the star. Then he uses a very specific cloning setup to send 2 Goomba clones to the same Hope. With the precisely engineered object slot manipulation setup, he's able to place the Goomba that's earlier in the processing order lower, and the one that's later higher. When he comes back into the gate, he bounces on the low Goomba first, then the high Goomba second, high enough to reach the star with a single Hope.
What the
Before
hell?
he leaves Bob-omb Battlefield, Marbler has one final task, to set an extremely precise Hope to help him get the Shifting Sandland 100 coin star. He heads over there, collects some coins, and remote drops a cork box using the Hat in Hand glitch. Thanks to the perfectly accurate Hope, the box...
I have no idea what's going on. Sorry for not, like, commenting a lot, but, like, my brain is being fried. I think I smell rusty pennies.
on the very last frame of its lifetime, allowing it to be duplicated for infinite coins. Stantall on 4 pillars is one of the hardest stars in the run. The crux of the issue is getting this Goomba to chase Mario outside of its home and get in a perfect position. From there, a precise setup lets Marbler bounce on the Goomba and end up inside this pillar in such a way that he gets pushed out onto this platform.
What the
Once that's done, a slide kick gets him on this narrow ledge from where he can take the warp up. This warp is meant to be one way only, but there's a very small section where it's possible to activate it the other way around. Finally, Marbler
How do
gets
you
his way
know
across to
this?
the IROC fight, making sure to never fall into the sand because there's no way out of it if he does. Collecting the star is tricky but doable.
Okay.
For Vanish Cap under the moat, Marbler can crawl up the entire first slope, then slide kick bounce over
I've
the
done
wall
that
to clear
before.
the first half of the stage.
It's so fucking
the
annoying.
second half is hard but doable in no A presses until you
To
reach
get
the
those
stage,
red
where
coins.
Marbler needs to make it on not one but 2
Hate it. I
misalignments
hate
to
it
reach
so
the top.
much.
Thankfully, setups exist to make it less excruciating. Next up, in Big Boo's haunt, the merry-go-round star. This would be a trivial star if not for the fact that the star is barely
in the
too
air.
high to collect with a dive recover. Instead, Marbler has to resort to Scuttlebug raising from inside this room. He sets up the scuttlebug near the door, then carefully runs over the area where the scuttlebug and the room get loaded for just a few frames in such a way that makes the scuttlebug repeatedly lunge upwards and gain height.
What?
Then he
Why?
sets up the head and hand glitch
So he's like despawning it and then loading it the same time he's like doing that with rooms that it needs to be in. I think. I don't know. I'm talking bullshit right now. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
he can perform remote dropping and picks up a cork box. He bounces with the cork box and bumps into the scuttlebug, dropping the box at the Hope, which he previously set to a specific location in Cool Cool Mountain. With that set up...
Wait, what? When the fuck did Cool Cool Mountain come back into play?
He previously set to a specific location in Cool Cool Mountain. With that setup complete, he drops at a merry-go-round, has to be extremely careful not to load the cork box early while he fights all the boos, and re-grabs the box to bounce into the star. The red coin star is one of the hardest in the run. This red coin requires a chain of
So he like sent that box to whatever placeholder was in Cool Cool Mountain, and then he like beat Boo and summoned that box so we could do the little jumpy thing, I think.
Bounces on these two boos, it is extremely difficult, mostly because it's just really precise and it involves manipulating two boos at once. The Haunted Book Star is also relatively simple but difficult to execute. As with every star that involves going upstairs, it starts with selecting Go on a Ghost Hunt so that the staircase starts lowered. After getting rid of all the boos, Marbler dive recovers on the stairs as they are raising, storing vertical speed. He then reactivates it to enter freefall with positive speed, letting him grab the ledge on the upper floor. Then he does the book puzzle and reaches the
I don't
with
get
a
it.
very precise dive recovery.
If he's like proccing free fall, why does that make him go up?
Cover into the railing, followed by a ground pound. This strategy only works because of wall collision shenanigans and runs the risk of falling off.
Oh,
in which case
shenanigans.
you need to pause
Gotcha.
and start
Right.
over.
I forgot about the
Using this game,
shenanigans.
Marbler needs to go to the Cavern of the Metal Cap, not just for its star, but also because the Metal Cap itself unlocks 3 more stars afterwards. There are 2 methods to get across, both of which absolutely suck to do in real time. You can dive recover from Dory's head, but that's insanely precise.
And they said this took him 86 hours.
And there's no way to do a normalized position setup because you're doing it from a moving object. Marbler tries his hand at that for a while, but doesn't get it. Instead, he uses this slope to do hyperspeed walking and store a large amount of sliding speed. He reactivates that speed with a frame-perfect crouch and see up as he gets out of the water to shoot to the ledge and grab it. Once
How?
inside, the main challenge is to get this precise dive rollout onto the crystal, then another one onto the switch. Next up is Jolly Roger Bay.
Okay.
Here, the sunken ship star can be collected by crawling and
We've all
free-walking
done
up the
this.
slippery slope all the way up to above the star. And now's the hard part. Marbler stops walking and Mario gets what's called a steep floor push, which pushes him off the slope into a backwards freefall. From there, he's too far from the box to reach it, so he has to use perfectly angled straining to keep Mario's speed as close as possible to -16 without reaching -16.
How do
Mario's
they
speed
like?
is
How do they know what values you have? Are they like watching the code being run in real time?
Cap at -16 and at 32, above which a sharper deceleration is applied to him. By staying under that cap using a lot of straining, Marbler is able to keep his speed while adding on a lot of sideways movement, maximizing how much he's able to move Mario in a single frame. This is often
What the
used in
fuck?
passes to optimize Mario's speed to 31.99, so it's usually called the .99 trick. Performing it in real time in any capacity is ridiculously
There's no
hard,
way.
because there's
I
basically
mean,
no way
clearly
to
there
calculate
is,
what portion
still.
of Mario's speed is and how to get it as close to -15.99 as possible. Through the jet stream is equally difficult. This time, it's mostly because Marbler needs to get Mario into a unit-precise spot under the star that will get the stream to push him upwards into it, while under the time limit of the metal cap. Thankfully, a setup exists to make his life a bit easier here.
Okay.
Actually getting the metal cap is no easy task either, with this crazy dive recover. Next is Whomp's Fortress. First, the Hope is set in a far corner at the very bottom of the map in Cool Cool Mountain using the baby penguin.
Why?
Then Marbler fights King Whomp using the elevator platform.
I don't know why they're using Cool
After
Cool
starting the star,
Mountain.
He uses a cork box to clone
Weird
a piece of the
penguin
collapsing bridge and a
glitch
head
or
and hand glitch
something.
to throw it to the Hope while he's standing on it. As the piece is rotating, it applies a displacement to Mario because he's standing on it, and this displacement is still applied
Sure.
on the frame where the platform warps to the hope. Except now, the rotational displacement is applied over a much larger distance, so it moves Mario a lot more. Object slots were carefully manipulated, and the hope was carefully placed to send Mario directly to the star. To the top of the fortress is done the same way to get onto the fortress.
What
Before
the f-
leaving Whomp's fortress, Marbler sets up a hope to help him get another shifting sandland star, the red coins. Again, this star involves a ton of object slot manipulation. 3 airborne red coins are collected.
So, like, I get hope is held object's last position, but I don't know how that, like, helps him do the things that he needs to do by, like, putting it on Cool Cool Mountain when he's in a completely different level.
Using Fly Guys in a tornado, but the fourth one is more complicated. The extra tornado here can't be used because it only spawns after getting the first 3 stars, and Into the Ancient Pyramid can't be collected in 0A presses. Marbler has to clone a body part of this Pokey and send it to the Hope, then take a cork box and
Okay.
pillar and place the Hope in a new location and clone another Pokey body part and send it there. He now has 2 Pokeballs to bounce on, and he does so with a tight
Pokeballs?
They're not perfectly aligned, so he has to strain left then right to barely reach the red coin, all while dealing with this awful camera angle. Finally, the star is cloned so that Mario can reach it. Marbler moves on
Okay.
to Gyaradox. To get on Bowser's sub, he has to grab onto these cork boxes, but they're normally too high to do it.
What is
Using a position
happening?
setup, he falls off the side and does a glitchy ledge grab. For Mario to ledge grab, the game has to detect a wall near Mario's feet, no wall
Sure.
near his head, and a floor in front of him. When Mario is in a very precise location, the game detects the lower box's wall near Mario's feet, but just barely misses the wall of the upper box by less than 1 unit. The floor at the top
What?
sticks out by 1 unit, so it is detected, and Mario grabs the ledge of the upper cork box. This has to be done under the tight.
What does their chat say? Imagine next person doing this category is gonna miss the record by like 2 seconds because they didn't do the lag reduction and DD. That was a lot of words that those people threw together.
Timer of the purple switch not once, not twice, but 3 times. The mental
Thrice.
star is mostly difficult because Mario's swimming using only the B button is really slow. While the first 4 rings
He's
speed
gonna
up
pull a
twice
fucking
the time,
Steve
once you
Irwin.
go through
Don't
4
do it.
rings, the last one is a special one that spawns the star, and for some reason it lasts for a much shorter time than the others. His swimming has to be perfect in order to go through it in time. And now Marbler enters Bowser in the Fire Sea 4.5 hours in with 49 stars. To get
Four and a
past the
half
hole,
hours,
he has a
no.
special trick up his sleeve. When I said that Marbler was playing on console, I didn't specify which console. He is on the Wii VC version of the game. The Wii emulates Nintendo 64 games to play them on the Virtual Console, and there's a
Sure.
bug with the emulator in the number format conversion. Whenever the game converts a number from a 64-bit floating point.
But like this, I know there's probably like a different category, but this disqualifies you from doing it like on completely original hardware, right?
Number to a 32-bit float, the resulting number usually doesn't lie exactly on a 30-bit floating point value. If it doesn't, the Nintendo 64 simply rounds it to the nearest available float, but the Wii VC version rounds it towards 0 instead. This conversion is made every time these
that's
syncing
weird.
platforms move, so every single time they move, they inch a tiny little bit towards Y position 0. At the bottom of the stage, vertical position is negative, so going towards 0 means going upwards. This means that
Okay.
over time, the sinking platforms rise up into the air very, very slowly. How slowly? Well, every time there's a rounding error, they move up by approximately 1/8,000th of a unit. The time
There it is. So 1/8,000th is how far it moves up. That's where the time comes from, I bet.
it takes for that error to compound so much that the platforms rise up closer to where the elevator is over 3 days. After
There it
6
is.
hours have passed, Marbler drops to the lava and bounces onto the platform, which stores the huge vertical speed of a lava boost. From here, he punches forward to preserve that speed and waits near the edge of the platforms for 72 more hours.
Holy
The
shit.
platforms are now high enough that he can reactivate that speed and dive to the elevator. The walls are only solid in one direction, so he gets pushed in and he makes it past the pole. Note that to avoid having to wait several more hours, he had to time this right at the peak of the platform's movement, and in the most.
So if you wait like 76 hours, like legitimately, and then you fuck up, that's it. I'd throw the whole goddamn computer out the window, or the Wii. They're playing it on the Wii. Nah. That is no. No fucking way.
And he completely forgot.
Could I ever do it?
Oh no. I wasn't watching.
He fucked it up.
The height of the platform.
By a stroke of luck, he just happened to do it at the perfect time, and he had the height to make it.
Oh, he didn't fuck
Bowser
it
in
up.
Fire Sea is the reason why this is the first ever completion of Super Mario 64 in 0 presses on console, even including TASes. The platforms do not rise on the Nintendo 64 or any other re-release, and a Wii VC TAS being played back on console would desynchronize because the Wii has occasional issues with input polling. Now 82 hours in, Marbler makes it to Wet Dry World. The
No
first
way.
star he goes for is top of the town. He needs to carry Chuckya close to where the star is. To do that, he interrupts a punch grab by falling and diving, which triggers a glitch where Chuckya is treated as a light object instead of a heavy object. This lets him fall off the ledge holding it and ledge grab, dropping Chuckya on the plank and getting grabbed at the same time. Here it's a 50-50 chance that Chuckya will throw him off the plank. That did not go so well in this run. After opening the box, he catches Chuckya as a light object again, throws it and instantly re-grabs it, and finally gets thrown into the star. This also has a 50-50 chance, and if that fails, that attempt is ruined. He reset the star 3 times to get it to work. Express Elevator Hurry Up is one of the hardest stars in the run. To get on the elevator, you can't swim because B-swimming is too slow, so Marbler has to use Chuckya instead. Grabbing Chuckya as a light object has the side effect of locking Chuckya's anchor, essentially its own hope, the position where Mario would be at if it was holding him. Marbler carries Chuckya down here, where he sets up another glitch to preserve the anchor.
Wait, what? The Chuckya is its own hope, and that's where Mario would be at if he were holding that? But isn't he already at that point holding that?
If it was holding him.
I don't know.
Marbler carries Chuckya down here, where he sets up another glitch to preserve the anchor, behind camera anywhere, or BCA. The camera's focus point is usually a little bit in front of Mario, and using the fixed camera, it's possible for Mario to be behind the camera but the focus to be in front, leading to Mario not even being on screen, and therefore not rendered. Remember how the hope only gets updated when the object needs to be drawn? Well, Chuckya's anchor doesn't get updated when it doesn't need to be drawn. Marbler gets caught by Chuckya and thrown where the anchor still is, up on the plank. Now he just needs to hope he gets thrown in the right direction again. This lets him reach the elevator, but he still needs Chuckya. He grabs it light again, this time using water, and quickly takes it to push him through the wall and get on the elevator. Marbler makes it to Tall Mountain, where the hardest star is Scale the Mountain.
What? They needed him to throw him to get on the platform to clip through the wall?
Actually scaling the mountain isn't hard, it simply involves a lot of frame walking. The problem is the star is barely too high for a dive recover from the flat top, and you can't roll out from a steep slippery surface. Instead, Marbler uses what's called the Ghost Rollout. He gathers a ton of backward speed and gets into a position where a combination of floor and wall hitbox mechanics ends up pushing Mario
So
off the slope
stupid.
right at the start of a frame.
So
before
fucking convoluted.
snap Mario down to the floor. For a fraction of a frame, he's slightly above the flat surface, which means he can roll out from ever so slightly higher and reach the star.
Sure, why
Marbler
not?
Makes his way
Of
to
course.
Snowman's Land. Into the igloo is the final hard star to get. He enters the igloo using the shell in a dive recover. Then he runs into this corner at the right angle to do a dive recover into an unreferenced wall. Mario can only keep track of one wall that he's pushing against at one time, so in any corner between 2 walls, the one that's earlier in the processing order will be unreferenced, or in other words, Mario won't push against it or bonk on it. His angle with the referenced wall is too shallow, so he doesn't bonk and he can dive recover on the spin drift and reach the vanished cap. Then he lures another spin drift under the limited cap timer and rolls out on it to reach the star. Now only missing a Toad Star, Marbler heads to Cool Cool Mountain to set a hope in a precise spot that's totally not going to be relevant later, and goes to Leto Level 9 to farm lives up to 100 in order to go attempt Bowser in the Sky. Reaching Bowser in the Sky is a huge pain with glitchy ledge grabs, misalignments, and
No
stuff
way.
reeling,
No
so once
fucking
he
way,
gets up
man.
there, he never wants to have to do it again. And now, Bowser in the Sky. The first couple platforms are reached using misalignments with the setup to get into them. Then Marbler pulls off something that is actually batshit insane. the
Okay.
Chakya drop.
As if all the other shit
I
wasn't
can't
batshit
begin to
insane.
describe this in a way that would do it justice. To better show it, here's a task that does the exact same strategy Marbler did in his run. While on this moving platform, he dances around the edge of Chakya's activation range in an extremely precise and deliberate way to manipulate it to run off its platform and fall all the way down here. While Marbler is busy pause buffering his way through a ton of frame-perfect movement, several glitchy ledge grabs, and doing this manipulation completely blind, he gets Chakya to chase Mario, get into the right spot, turn it repeatedly just the right amount, slowly inch to the perfect spot, and fall off the platform.
Wait.
Finally, he gets grabbed and randomly thrown, hoping
Okay.
Let me repeat this. After this completely insane 10-minute setup, he gets thrown in a random direction and hopes that he survives. Thankfully, he actually has a 56% chance of making it, and he does on his first successful attempt at the Chakya drop. This took him 42 attempts. Every time anything went wrong, he had to reset the level by dying. However, he's not out of the woods yet. He still has the entire stage to climb. Fortunately, the hope he said earlier comes to the rescue.
Hell?
Marbler grabs the Chakya using Behind Camera Anywhere and throws it to the Hope. This sounds very simple, but it's actually unbelievably nerve-wracking. BCA is a very precise trick made harder by the fact that you can't see much of anything, and in this case, Chakya makes sure that Marbler can't see anything at all. On top of that, he needs to play as a light object, which means he needs to do the frame-perfect punch-cancel pause buffer dive method with the perfect angle without having any idea what he's doing. If he messes up, he needs to die to reset the stage, or worse, be expelled to Cool Cool Mountain to reset the Hope. He gets it after a few attempts. Next, he runs up the disjointed, misplaced hitbox of the axle. Again, needless to say, this is extremely precise. Mario gets squished and pushed out at the end and grabs a ledge. After angling the camera to briefly render Chakya and set its anchor by the Hope further up the level, Marbler positions Mario in a precise spot with the right camera angle to set up BCA again while Chakya is falling off screen until it grabs
whatever.
Because Chakya is never rendered and its anchor never updated, Mario is warped up to the Hope near the top of the stage. The very last hurdle is this ledge, and he needs to lure a Goomba to bounce on it with a dive recover. The Goombas aren't infinite here. If he messes up, he has to redo the entire stage. He lures the Goomba down, he bounces on it, and misses.
Oof.
But there's another Goomba. The third one is too far though, so if he messes up this one, it's really over. He lures it down, and this time, it's good. A bit of trivial movement and a misalignment with the position setup get him in
That
the
has
fight.
gotta be
He fights
so
Bowser.
fucking stressful.
Again, Bowser doesn't require A, so he cruises to the finish. There are
Damn.
several words that
Holy
do justice
shit.
to Marbler's achievement. This was unthinkable just 2 years ago. Super Mario 64 has been beaten without using the A button for the first time in history. This is one of the most impressive video game achievements ever. It simply doesn't get any better
Tetris
than
is
this.
more
I hope
impressive.
This video shed a bit of light on how incredible this really is, and thank you for watching.
I didn't understand about 95% of those words. Holy fuck. God damn. I guess I can do my dailies. Hey, what's going on? Probably gonna do, yeah, I need to do my Final Fantasy dailies. What are you up to? How's the weather tomorrow? Power went off at the house early this morning. Well, I guess technically early yesterday morning. It was like a fucking random freak storm that popped up. Welcome to springtime in Texas. There's a marginal risk of severe weather today. Oh shit, 40%? Supposed to go like swimming and cooking out and shit. Cool. Okay. What fresh hell are we in for today? playing Dominion 6. That sounds like, is it a Paradox game? They make crazy shit. I think my favorite strategy game, you're talking like a turn-based thing, or is it a real-time, or what? Oh, I should probably update my... Yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. I like, Endless Legend. I really enjoy that game. I haven't played just a whole lot of it though, but from the little that I have, I don't know, it's pretty unique. Is that game like fantasy or sci-fi or historical or what? I've never heard of it. I am starting to get hungry. I have this like chicken bacon ranch pizza in there. Pretty disappointing, but I mean it's pizza, so. I had this barbecue chicken pizza 2 days ago. That one was okay for like a store brand pizza. I liked it well enough. Okay, what are we doing here? Buttsworth, I don't think I've named a animal after you. Let's see. What animal do you want to be named? I got 2 chocobos I need to name. Got this black sheep thing. This monstrosity. This weird island nanny, like a... I don't even know what the hell that is. Like a yak or something. Got a lemur. Fantasy, you can actually play... Oh, that's cool. Let's see how my stuff is doing. Oh shit, they're out of water. I got new produce seeds. As if anyone gives a fuck about that, but it's new shit, damn it. I wonder, I'm at 85, and I have quite a bit of double XP stored up. I'm curious on how many levels I could get today. I might be able to get it up to 9, or 90. Yeah. Why I love them, or this one specifically right now. I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima lately, so that's why I haven't logged on quite as much to Final Fantasy XIV, but still in it. And I just unlocked Samurai the other night. I knew I would. After playing Ghost. Like, maybe I should level Samurai. Oh, I'm very close to the end. I've maxed out all my techniques. I beat the Iki Island. I'm pretty damn... I haven't beaten it, but I can only imagine I'm very close to the end. Because I've done all the other main and secondary characters' storylines and stuff. There's still a few quests that I haven't done. It's like one of the best games I've ever played in my life. It's so good. It makes me want to go back and run a Legend of the Five Rings tabletop game. I ran one for a little while there and I had a lot of fun. And I have all the physical books. And I looked them up, 4th edition, not whenever they sold it to Fantasy Flight, which I probably will never buy. But I have all the 4th edition books, and apparently those things are really, really fucking expensive. I'm glad I got them when I did. What? It's like nothing. Okay. Alright, let me queue up. Love it. Love being a tank. At least for that reason. Everyone needs tanks. Come on, DPS. What the hell? Level 70? I don't know if I've done this one before. I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever done this dungeon with, at least as a tank. I'm sure I have with my other characters, or other jobs, I should say. I hope that healer is good. I was playing Animal Well earlier offline. My computer or my internet shit out like 3 hours. It's a fun game. It's a really fun game too. Those things are so fucking pretty in real life. I think they're called like angel snails or something. Like they're a real thing. They're like incredibly vibrant too. Come on. Salt Swallow. I'm pretty sure there's a joke to be made in there somewhere, but I'm too stupid to think of one right now. Turn the music down some. I think it was a little loud. Okay, I don't know what this boss is at all. Oh yeah, no, I have done this before as a tank. Good old Kelpie over there. Or maybe that was my summoner. Not too difficult. I think that's a really cool looking creature. I'd like that as a mount. Okay. Come here. I gotta draw it over to me so they can hit it from behind. Got a Dragoon here. Have to think of his spacing, because as a fellow Dragoon player, it is super fucking frustrating whenever you have a tank that's like going everywhere. Don't do that. I do not remember the mechanics of this fight at all, but seems that we're doing okay. All things considered. Come on, Kelpie. Surely, like, that has to drop a mount. It's too good to not be a mount. Okie doke. Come on. Am I like not holding aggro? I should be. I'm still not very good at interrupting their attacks. I could definitely use improvement on that. Oh shit, I don't know who's doing that. Ooh, I am taking a lot of damage. Cool, cool. Yeah, don't fight them, fight me. It's the whole point of me. I take everyone's shit so they can feel better. I'm okay with that. I've accepted my lot in life doing that. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die. Where is our healer? What the fuck? Healer's not here. I do not have infinite mana. Where is the healer? Where is the healer? Why is the healer not here? What the fuck, healer? Where are you? What in the actual fuck were they doing? Were they like jerking it and they came and climaxed or something? What the fuck? I did not like that. I think at some point in the near future, I'm gonna try and get that Super Mario 64 Maker downloaded, because it looks pretty fun. Okay. Back to it. Shit. What? I forgot all about that. Oh well. Activate Clunk transformation. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see what you got. Cool. I don't even remember like where in the game this takes place. Oh shit. Okay. Cool, cool. Damn it, I forgot to eat the food too. Son of a bitch. Wait, what the fuck? Attack me. I don't feel like I'm holding like their enmity very well. Okay, cool. I think boss is about to come up next. Maybe, maybe not. Cool. I always like it in games whenever bosses later on show up as like regular enemies. Usually palette changed. Oh, they're pulling? Oh, they want to pull? Somebody's a little bit antsy. Okay, come on. Cool. All right. Now it's boss time. That is a very intimidating looking boss. I completely forgot what he does. Yeah, see, I don't know like what that was or why it was important. Oh, yeah, well, there you go. Why the fuck did they not get away? Shit, I don't know if we're gonna be able to beat this. We might be able to. It's gonna be pretty close though. Because I can heal, but not very much. I mean, not a lot. It is a very expensive spell for me. Alright, okay. We actually might be able to do it. As long as these people don't fucking die. Oh, that was actually not bad. I think we can do it. Okay. Come on, me. I probably shouldn't have done that. I am just trying to keep everybody alive, if at all possible. Doubling as a healer. He's gonna do something and like wipe us out 100%. Or not.